Hey everyone, welcome back to Automation. So if you play this game and you haven't been in the alpha branch, you may have noticed that the game has changed drastically since then. You've now got the alpha branch. It's no longer an alpha, it is in the public. If you're interested in learning how to play the game now that it's been drastically changed, watch this video and a lot of my other recent videos, pretty much the past couple months and even beyond that, have all been in the alpha, in the version that you're playing right now. So check them out. Learn how to play the game as it has changed quite drastically. One of the things that has changed over time is how cars are added up in terms of value. There is a little thing at the end of the building creator piece that tells us how much cars are worth. So let's use the Magnum Opus as an example. If you go to testing and you go down to detailed stats, you can see here an approximate cost of what the vehicle is expected to cost at the end of the day. And for the Magnum Opus, which it looks like this, it's a ridiculous hypercar. It is, what is that, $4.4 million? So fairly expensive. That's what you get when you go all carbon fiber, all high quality, just a very expensive vehicle overall. And I thought that because Christmas is coming up soon, we may as well give the best gift possible. The most expensive Yugo on the planet is what we're going to be making today. So this is a clone of the Bugo. It's currently a Una rear wheel, which is not going to work for our purposes, but I'll fix that quickly. This thing, in a nutshell, is essentially a Yugo, but then I've remade it and called it a Bugo. The video from it is ancient at this point on my channel, but it has become the theme of my channel and also my logo and the subject of my merchandise as well. I still have some Bugo stickers left. Check them out on my website, automotiveflux.com. They are $7. You get 2 when you order 1 because I'm doubling every order, and I ship them worldwide for free. So yeah, check those out. So to make this the most expensive Yugo on Earth, I think I'm going to have to give it 4 wheels instead of 3, because at the moment 3 just ain't working. The easy way to fix that is just to go into the settings here and reset things back to normal. Hopefully this works. There we go. Reset all advanced trim aesthetics. Beautiful. It's back to the average. So the car as it sits with 4 wheels costs $6,880, which is a decent amount of money, nothing crazy, but it's time that we made it ridiculous. Basically going into the car model and the chassis, we're going to go carbon fiber. I think that's the most expensive of the stuff. Carbon fiber monocoque and then carbon fiber again. We're going to keep the front transverse engine. I believe that is just going to have to work for this. Now, when it comes to the engine, obviously having a bigger engine is going to be more expensive, but I think I'm going to first try to just make the engine out of more expensive materials and we'll see what happens. It's got a solid axle up front, which is hilarious for a front wheel drive, and then also a solid axle at the back. Can we get more expensive than that? You can see a sum of all costs over here, so I guess we can try. Okay, it turns out multi-link is the most expensive, so the very luxurious Bugo / Yugo actually has decent rear suspension now. And a leaf spring is actually the most expensive on the front. Luxury is turning into ridiculousness at this point. Okay, longitudinal is also apparently more expensive, so I'm going to go with that. And because stuff costs money when it's high quality, we can just crank that up, going from 8,000 to 19,000. Just to give an example of how much difference that makes, we are now currently 418,000. This car has gotten more expensive by $411,000 just by making the chassis carbon fiber. Yeah, stuff ain't cheap. So I'm going to modify the existing engine just to see if we can't just get a little bit more money out of it. We'll go for aluminum. I believe that is a little bit more expensive. Again, I'm just watching the material costs here. The engineering costs and stuff are also a factor, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter as much. Let's see. So we can still go front wheel drive or all wheel drive. All wheel drive is probably more expensive, so we'll go with that. If we crank her up to a dual overhead cam with 4 valves, that is probably the most expensive we can get. Also, it's still 1982. What the heck am I doing? Let's go up even higher, up to 2020. And magnesium, yes, that's where it's at. Okay, so it's a dual overhead cam, 5 valves per cylinder, and we're still running 1.8 liters of magnesium 4-cylinder goodness. We can probably fit more in here because look at the length. For whatever reason, it'll allow us to fit some fairly decently sized engine in here, which is a bit shocking actually. I didn't know the Bugo had so much space. Okay, again, watching the material costs. Crank that quality all the way up, yes please. Billet steel, no reason. Lightweight titanium, again, no real reason for that. Lightweight forged, again, getting in the heavy goodness. And balance shafts cost money, I guess, so we'll put those on even if it doesn't need it. VVT costs money, so we'll give it VVT, and again, increasing the quality all the way up. Turbos cost money, so we'll probably end up turboing it, but I just want to see what the difference is naturally aspirated. By the way, we're making a cool 61 horsepower now. All of these quality things do make a huge difference. Cranking this up is giving us more and more power. Also, the RPM can go a lot higher than it's at. So now in this graph, we're watching this piece right here, $3,271 of material cost for this engine so far. Let's go for a race intake because big money. 4-barrel carb, I guess? I don't know, this is getting weird. Seeing as this is a deluxe Yugo, we're going to go leaded fuel and we're going to go for the 110 RON. Yes, please. You know, apart from the obvious quirks that this engine has, and this car in general by just being the most expensive items I can put on it, it probably is going to drive pretty good. That's 92 horsepower, pretty flat curve as well. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, let's go race exhaust, which is probably going to do quite a bit. Yeah, goodness. And that also makes things more expensive. The more that that's in the red, the better. Catalytic converter, just absolutely no, apparently. We don't have any other options there, but we can go for 2 reverse flow mufflers because, again, they cost more money. So the thing that's restricting us the most is actually our carburetor at the moment. We can make more power, but I do just want to see kind of where we're at in terms of the overall cost of things. Before I start to go crazy on the engine, that is $694,000. Wow, we gained another 200k just from having a crazy engine in there. Wow. Okay, interesting. Let's make it even crazier. Okay, with an AI tune, we're making 300 horsepower, and the car is having major problems. I'm just gonna dismiss those issues for now, so that's not flashing. But the engine has gotten a lot more expensive. As you can probably tell, it has ITBs and direct injection now. Yeah, that was definitely the problem. And for those following along at home, that's $838,000 for a Yugo. All right, well, heck it. This isn't enough power. Let's go for an inline 6. And now we're filling up the thing almost completely with 2.694 liters. That is huge for this car. Absolutely massive. So let's see what kind of power I can get out of it with a turbo or 2. Okay, so we're making 471 horsepower again in a Yugo. Like, what on this planet? It wants me to pin off-road budget. We're not even close to off-road at this point. Things have very likely gotten even more expensive. We are over $1 million. As I'm doing this, I want to challenge you at home. If you have this game, or if you don't, maybe you can buy it with some of your Christmas money. Try and beat me. Try and make something ridiculously expensive, just for fun. Alright, let's crank up the expense. We're going turbo. We're actually going to go 2 turbos, smart boost, race preset. The game is going to be entirely broken at this point, but as long as it's more expensive, wow. 940 horsepower, and that curve is awful. Absolutely awful. Oh, the quality's super low. That's probably why. Crank that back up. Over 1,000 horsepower at 10,000 RPM. What is this thing? Failed to tune the engine. I've never seen that before. It might have just failed because it doesn't want to deal with the ridiculousness of the turbo and also everything else that's going on with this car. Up the RPM goes, and the car is not reacting very swiftly. The game, for some reason, I don't know, I've just noticed this so far today, it's having a hard time keeping up with this. It is not liking this at all. Okay, I think I'm going to leave this here, although I believe that I could get away with a V6 in this car if I really wanted to, possibly even a V8. The thing is that it's actually cheaper for some reason from what I'm looking at, other than engineering time. The material costs here are a lot more expensive for an inline 6, so that's what I'm going to roll with. Well, let's do it. 1,092.7 horsepower, 10,700 RPM, the big money, big twin turbo Bugo engine, which is very, very strange for this car, but I like it. Alright, as this is the most luxurious of the Yugos, we're just going to leave the body pretty much exactly the same as it has been, except for high quality components, and I might modify some of the weirdness that's going on, like there's some badges missing, etc. We're going to go ahead here and hide the engine intake so that it's not as obvious what's going on. The turbos are sticking out. Oh no, come on now. This is such a screwed up car at this point. It is absolutely all over the place. With the weird front axle that is leaf spring and the multi-link rear suspension, it's not going to drive very well. Let me just put it that way. Let's take off this little badge here. Something is going on with it. This, I believe, is German. I don't know what it says, but it says unlock deletion, so I'm going to just delete it. That's weird. I've never seen that before, but I guess they write their errors in German. Instead, we'll just add a little bit of a luxurious touch here, bringing in the actual Yugo badge that I like. We'll just have that placed, actually maybe down here somewhere. The thing that was missing was a license plate, now that I think about it, so we'll put that back on too. So this car has no interior, which is fine. It looks very, very normal, which is also a good thing. There is nothing to distinguish it other than the fact that it kind of has massive meaty wheels, but I'm going to fix that. Also, I'm going to get rid of this automation logo here, and I'm going to swap on the official badge, because yes please. Right, so getting into the drivetrain, again, we're going for expensive. Just taking a look at this, we're up to 1.12 million, so that's $1,120,000, which is bananas. I'm going all-wheel drive because it's more expensive than front-wheel drive naturally. Let's see what the most expensive thing here is. Apparently the automatic is actually cheaper, and the dual clutch is cheaper as well. That's weird. But we'll go up for the 10-speed auto, which is a lot of gears, but I mean, oh well. Claimed top speed of around 399 kilometers an hour. Actually, it's saying 354 estimated top speed. Pretty good, but wheel spin in every single gear, as you would suspect. Manual lockers, that's probably a bad idea. Let's go for the electric LSD. Extremely expensive, but definitely worth it. We want more, I don't know, do we want more power on the front? Probably, that's where all the weight is. Okay, so quickly moving on to wheels, let's make it so that this car does not do ridiculous burnouts off the line at every possible intersection, up to semi-slicks. Wow, that is round. What is going on there? I think that might be some advanced settings messing it up. Hold on a sec. Okay, so naturally with 130s on the front, it's going to do some bad stuff in terms of our drivability. What's weird though, the shapeliness of these tires is just so strange. I'm going to have to adjust that or something. But having these meaty wheels, wow, I have a whole bunch of ignored things. Hold on a sec. So I kind of have to fight with myself a little bit here because I'm not sure if I want to deal with the wheel size being super small and the car being undrivable and therefore looking the part, or if I want to have huge wheels and actually have it work at least slightly, because at the moment the wheels are massive and the car is possibly drivable, potentially drivable. The wheel spin issues are down a little bit. I don't want it to be a ridiculous burnout machine, but I mean, we have to compromise somewhere. Okay, it turns out that massive rims are also way, way more expensive, which is great. The wheels are blowing out because, of course, they are, but I kind of like to see how ridiculously pricey that is. If we're truly going for the big, big money, then we gotta go big baller rims too. So 600 is as big as this will get. 17-inch rims, man, oh man. World's most expensive Yugo, here we come. But I'm gonna change those actual like wheels there because I don't know. If we're gonna go big baller, we need to go big baller. What do you think about big rotiform wheels on the Yugo here? I'm kind of liking it, so I'm gonna stick with that. There is something that we gotta do though. The weight distribution will help us to set the engine back so that this doesn't stick out as much. The only thing that's gonna look like is changed on this car is gonna be the wheels, as I've decided. They are going to be massive, but that's really the only way we can contend with that amount of power, and also it's more expensive. Significantly more expensive. As you can see, we have almost hit $2 million. Just wait till we get to brakes. Right, it's currently just drum brakes. I'm going carbon ceramic, the biggest size that we can get. 6 pistons on both. That is big money. Full race diffuser, I think that's probably the most expensive one. Actually, the off-road skid tray is more. Well, we'll go with that. Cooling flaps, I mean, why not, I guess. High quality, please. That is $2,225,000. Into the interior, let's make this even more expensive. Handmade and luxury HUD. Big money. Driver's aids, everything. High quality. Safety. Advanced. High quality. Lighter. Weight distribution is currently set to the front. We're going to set that back until that disappears, even if it screws up the weight balance of the car. By the way, we're up to $4.55 million. Suspension, active comfort is probably the most expensive. Oh, wait, hydro pneumatic. Oh, all right, let's see. And then active sway bars. Wow. Just go for a race preset, and our ride height is as low as it'll go because this thing is on leaf springs at the front, which is hilarious. Increase the quality of that considerably, and I think that might be it for the amount of things that we can add to make this thing even more baller. Let's see what the final total is. 4.7, nearly $4.8 million Yugo. It's got some hints of what's underneath. You can see the brakes take up the entirety of the wheels. They are huge, which is hilarious. You can't even see through the wheels because the 6-piston brake calipers are sitting out there. Oh man. Yeah, this might be the most expensive Yugo in the entire world. Honestly, the only way to make this more money would be if we like polish the body with gold or something. It's like gold flake Yugo, diamond encrusted Yugo. I don't know. There's got to be some other way. It currently sits at 1,433 kilos, which is heavy. But man, oh man, is this a bit of a ripper. It's going to be a weird combo with that front suspension, but I'm excited to see how it drives in BeamNG. So this is BeamNG's new map, Johnson something off-road. Johnson Canyon, I believe. I should have read it before I got too into it. But I just wanted to note that BeamNG has updated as well as automation. It is a crazy time if you're into these games, and I have yet to check out this map. But one of the features of it is this ridiculously long highway. You can see that my current car is not exactly ready for this type of terrain. This place is pretty rough, but I think we better try out the Yugo here to see how it does. First things first though, let's test out the physics. Anything change? Nah. Alright, big money Bugo. This thing is $4.8 million. It better do something. It's actually really, really quiet, which is, I guess, to be expected considering it... Whoa, okay. It rolls over very easily. But it's extremely quiet, which makes sense because it has a huge muffler. It actually has 2 of them in there to try and settle this thing down. But the only reason I put them on was because they were more expensive. Looks like this highway goes even further that way, which is kind of hilarious. But let's kick it up into... this automatic does not have sport mode. and the car is not having it because it doesn't want to wheel spin. The ESC is going mental. Let's go sport. Oh my goodness, the turbos are going crazy. Yeah, having this much turbo on an inline 6 is just a bad idea in general. That's 3 cylinders per turbo, and wow. Actually, I didn't adjust the speed at all, so we might be able to hit 399. Oh my goodness, it's fast. What on this earth? 360 kilometers an hour. Oh no. Okay, this is what you get when you do a $4 million Yugo, or nearly $5 million Yugo. It's ridiculously quick, and also very, very dangerous when your engine is spazzing out. Okay, I'm going to give this a bit more of a try here to try and stay stable and hit top speed. The 10-speed transmission does not like to shift as well as I would like it to, which is fine, but I wish I had a sport mode. 300 kilometers an hour effortlessly with this big boy, and if I stick it out on the road, 370, 400, what the heck? 416 seems to be our maximum speed at the moment. That is ridiculous for a car like this. Absolutely astonishing. I want to see how well it does off-road. After we crash, of course. Come on now. Give it up, buddy. It's alright. Yeah, this is not the game for you if you suffer with motion sickness. Although I'm sure there are settings that you can tweak it, but yeah, the glitching physics definitely does something. Look at that, there's an inline 6 laying on the desert ground. So, Johnson Valley, let's see what's going on. There's a little route over this way, so we may as well check it out. But I figured while we're just driving around the ridiculously all-powerful Yugo, we may as well talk about the rest of the year. So, if you're watching this on the day I intend for it to come out, it's Saturday, the weekend before Christmas, which is crazy. And that means next weekend is Christmas, and I will be posting something for you to watch that day as well, because, yeah, thankfully, I'm going to be working this week, but I will be off next week, so I'll have a chance to make some stuff for New Year's too. Man, this map is cool, though. There is a lot going on in the desert. And by a lot, I mean there's literally a ton of sand. That's pretty much it. So yeah, rest of the year is going to be an interesting time. I want you to stick it out on the channel for next year, so I'm going to try and make some videos that you'll be interested in, and this one included. But yeah, hopefully you're enjoying the new automation update. Hopefully you're enjoying the new stuff that goes with that, and also this BeamNG update, which has been massive. And yeah, upcoming soon is going to be a new BeamNG daily, because my current one is just not suited for this type of environment, and I think it's time that we build something a little bit more off-road oriented to check out Johnson Valley. And I think there's going to be 2 more videos this year, the last one being a bit of a sentimental end of the year type thing, so can't wait for that. I think it's going to be exciting. That being said, I do see a mountain in the distance, and there's one thing that I must do before we finish this off, and that is at least reach the base of said mountain, and possibly even climb it, because it's a lot closer than I thought it was. You've probably been able to gather this by now, but I'm a little bit of a sandbox game fiend. I really like sandbox games. This game is literally a sandbox at the moment. I don't know. I think games are more fun when they let me use my own creativity, and that fence is actually legit. Ah, man, is that the end of the map? That thing doesn't have any texture on it, so you know it's probably the end. Rest in peace. I can't climb that mountain. I'm gonna have to find another one. But that's gonna be for another day, boys. I will see you then. Thank you for watching, and yeah, I'll see you for Christmas, but Merry Christmas in advance. Don't forget to check out the Bugo stickers. Spend a bit of your Christmas money on something special, and I will see you again soon. Very soon. Sooner than later. Soonish. Okay, bye. Big thanks to those who have chosen to support this channel via the join button. This is my Patreon, essentially, and some people have been here for literally years. It is awesome that people are willing to support me as much as they are. I really do appreciate it a lot. I really need to advertise this more at the beginning of the videos, but I'll save that for the new year. What I want to do coming up in the new year is try to push things a little bit. I remember 2021 was a bit of a failure in that regard. I was unsuccessful at branching out from automation, but instead I'm just going to kind of try to advertise myself a little bit better and some of the things that I offer in terms of community and stuff. And this is one of those things. But yeah, thank you to those who have chosen to support this channel via the join button. We have Overlord, QT Bear, Terrio1, J Pope, Davis Heister, The German Dude, Sinlab, Badger, Baja Blast, Trevor Cousin, Goofy Plays, Phoenix Shark, Order of the Valiant, and Nat64. Thank you everybody for watching. I will see you again very soon.